Well, welcome one and all. This is our very first Arbor Creek official video as we get started to open up our new school in Euless in the fall. My name is Tobin Hodges. I'm going to be the music teacher, one of the music teachers at Arbor Creek. And with me, I have two very special guests today. Now, something we're going to do just to get to know everybody is we're doing something I like to call Meet the Crew. And we're going to start today with our principal, Mrs. Shannon Gaunt, and our assistant principal, Mrs. Cindy Smotherman. So we're going to get to know these guys today as we go throughout the summer during this quarantine time, just a way for you to kind of have a quick meet the teacher. That way, when the fall does roll around, it's not a complete shock to you of who's on your student's team. And also just to have some familiar faces to get to know as we go forward. So before we get started with some fun questions for you guys, I kind of want you guys just to give a quick overview of what brought you here, what got you to this point. So Mrs. Gaunt, let's start with you. What got you to Arbor Creek Elementary?
Well, thanks, Mr. Hodges. So I grew up in HEB ISD. My parents were educators in HEB ISD, and then I went away long enough to go to college and get my degree, and then I came back and taught first at Bel Air. I taught 5th and 4th grade while I was there, language arts, social studies, and then moved into the advanced academics role. Then I moved over to North Euless and taught there at advanced academics, and I became the assistant principal. And after some time there, I moved over to Shady Brook and became the assistant principal, and then it became the principal for the past 5 years at Shady Brook. So I am so excited to start this journey of Arbor Creek, and I'm so excited to meet all of our families. It's going to be a great adventure.
Now, Mrs. Gaunt, we always talk about that we really love continuing education, and we talk about going to colleges and stuff like that. What college did you get your undergrad from?
Undergraduate, I got from Stephen F. Austin. Go Jacks!
Okay, awesome. As you can tell, I got mine from Texas Tech. I figured I'd wear our black and red since we just revealed that our cardinal colors are black and red. So I thought I'd wear my black and red to be in the spirit today. Okay, Mrs. Smotherman, we are so glad you are here as our assistant principal. Why don't you tell us a quick rundown of how you got to Arbor Creek as well?
Wow. Well, I'm a transplant. I was born in Germany. My dad was in the Army. So I've lived all over the place. And really, I graduated from Southwest Texas State University, which is now called Texas State University. That shows how old I am. So I'm a Bobcat or was a Bobcat. I guess I still am a Bobcat. I went into the business world. I have a degree in psychology. I have a master's in business administration, and went into the business world, felt very unsettled, like I wasn't contributing to society. And at that point, at 28 years old, I decided to become a teacher. So I've taught 3rd grade, 4th grade, kindergarten. I've done math instructional specialist, and I've been an administrative intern. This will be my first year as an assistant principal at Arbor Creek Elementary.
Really cool. Awesome. So that's great. And I know that everybody that comes to our school is going to love to get to know you more. So I figured today I would just bring some quick, really fun, maybe even some might call it goofy questions. But I figured since we're talking about school and how excited we are about school starting up in the fall, what was your favorite cafeteria meal growing up at your school? It could be elementary, junior high, high school, or if you didn't ever eat cafeteria meals, then what was the favorite thing that you opened up whenever your mom or dad packed in your lunch growing up? Let's start with you, Ms. Smotherman.
Okay. I brought my lunch to school every day. So I was one of those that had my little lunch box. And I would say I was a swimmer. So I would go to swim practice in high school before I went to school. And my favorite meal was the toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwiches my mom used to make for me for after swim practice. They were cold, but I'm telling you, after 2 hours in the water and weights and all of the things we did, it was delicious. That was my favorite high school meal, I guess.
I'm an adult and I love a good PB&J. I don't care how old I am. I'll always love a good PB&J. So that's a great one. Mrs. Gaunt, what about you? What was your favorite school meal growing up?
Well, mine was from high school too. Every day for lunch, I ate mashed potatoes and gravy and rolls. And that was my lunch. And it was the best ever. There are times, my oldest is now in high school, and I asked her if she was eating mashed potatoes, gravy, and roll every day for lunch, and she said, "No, Mom, they have good stuff now." It's okay, though. It was delicious.
That's funny. I think as a parent, though, if your girls came home and they were like that, as a parent, you'd probably be a little terrified, right?
I'd ask them, "Where's the protein? At least get some chicken strips."
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Okay, so let's stay on the school train for this next question. I love asking teachers this question because it really comes from the heart, typically, because it's a lot of times, like personally, whenever you talk about your favorite teacher growing up, it's typically the reason that you went into education. So, Mrs. Gaunt, we'll start with you. Who was your favorite teacher or educator or coach or whoever growing up in the school system?
I have quite a few, but one that stands out to me a lot lately is my band director in high school, Mr. Joe Grzybowski. He just taught us so much about work ethic with being in the band and just how to continue to be better, and just really even thinking more deeply about life through the music that he introduced to us and had us play. There was always meaning behind the music, and I can still remember that for the pieces that we played to this day. So I'd have to say Mr. Grzybowski.
Yeah, and Mr. G's imprint is still on the LD Bell band today. That when I was student teaching there a long time ago, they were still talking about him, and he was long gone after that. So Mr. Grzybowski's legend still rides in the LD Bell band, which is fantastic. Ms. Smotherman, what about you? Who was your favorite educator growing up?
Well, that would be in high school. Mr. Buckholtz was my student council sponsor, and we landed in San Antonio. So I went to John Jay High School in San Antonio, and he just opened up the world of leadership, I guess. So I became the student council president for my junior and senior year. And my senior year, we were the state president for the Texas Association of Student Councils. And with that, I got to travel and do public speaking, go to camps all over the nation and speak to different groups. And he just encouraged me and believed in me and opened up so many opportunities. It was a life changing experience being under his mentorship.
That's so great. As we all know, it's very important that the roles that teachers play in people's lives, and that we want our students to feel that way about us. That's like, if I can have one student come back later on when I'm old and gray and more gray than I am now, then if they say Mr. Hodges is the reason that I'm doing this today, then we've done our job, which is great. So awesome. I love asking that question. Okay, moving on away from school stuff a little bit. What is your favorite hobby or thing to do in your free time? But we teachers, yes, we are humans as well. We do have fun things we like to do. So what are some fun things that you like to do in your free time? And Mrs. Gaunt, we're going to start with you this time.
All right. One of my favorite things to do is to bake. I love to bake. In fact, right before we started this, I was making some lemon blackberry bread. And so the funny thing is, though, I don't necessarily eat what I bake. I like to give it away. Yeah, it's a good stress relief and time break for me.
Cool. All right, Ms. Smotherman, what about you?
Well, my favorite thing to do in my free time is to go on adventures with my family. So we like to go find different parks to walk in. We go camping. We just like to travel as close to home because, we can't travel too far in 2 days, but we like to go explore.
Awesome. Obviously, as the students get to know y'all more, maybe they'll learn some more fun things about you. Like I know Mrs. Gaunt loves to read a good book as well. So I'm sure she's got a lot of good book recommendations for y'all students out there. Okay, last question, then we're going to get out of here. This one's kind of an out there fun one. If you could pick one of the two, tell me, are you an amusement park person or are you a water park person? Or are you like my wife and you just like, nope, I don't like either one of those things. So Mrs. Smotherman, let's start with you. Are you amusement park or are you water park?
I am the opposite of your wife. I love both.
Awesome.
And probably not for the reasons you think. I love the energy that's in the parks, the happiness, the people that are together laughing. And that's the part that I like. But I enjoy both.
Cool. What about you, Mrs. Gaunt?
Well, okay, so I do like a good water park. However, I love a good amusement park. And the bigger the roller coaster, the better. My family and I, when we travel, we really plan it around where we can find some of the best roller coasters and all of that. It's just one of our favorite things to do.
Well, it sounds like whenever I want to go to Six Flags, I need to go with you guys. So I actually have friends to ride with because neither one of my boys or my wife likes to ride anything. So I'm gonna call you guys next time I want to go to a fun amusement park. Okay, so that is the end of our first official Meet the Crew edition. I'm gonna call it Principal edition. So it's really great to be with you guys. I know that you guys are chomping at the bit to get that building and get to know all the kids. I thank you very much for coming on today, and We guys thank you very much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe to our new YouTube channel at Arbor Creek Elementary. Make sure you like and follow our Facebook page as well, because we're gonna have so much more fun things to do on there, and also some fun pictures, and just any information you might need will be in one of those two places, and we will let you know of all the places that we add as we get ready to start this year. So we thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to take flight.